Guys, I am embarrassed to show you my greenhouse. It has been totally neglected. I have done nothing in here in like months. I barely water the plants. Well, as you know, it's been a very crazy summer for me. I had COVID. Look at all these poor babies. I had COVID. I had 2 grandsons. It's just an absolute mess. A plant mama's worst nightmare. So I thought today, let's come in, give her a good cleaning. They're the lights from last year that I took down that I never even put away. And these are the plants. Some of them are, you know, holding up better than others. But like, it's bad. Look at the mess. Absolute mess. So I'm going to take you along with me. We're going to give this place a really good cleaning, and we're going to trim up some of those dead plants. Okay guys, look at how bad it is. I'm going to I'm going to hang these lights back up today. I could have just left them up for the whole summer because my plan was to bring them downstairs, and of course I didn't. So let's take these off here, and I will sit on my lovely seat that my husband bought me that I haven't sat on all summer. Okay, let's go. Isn't this lovely? Okay, so guys, this is disgraceful. I have here my dragon scale, which was absolutely gorgeous. Kieran just bought these gloves in Canadian Tire. He asked me to try them out. Okay, they're a fail. I just go with my bare hands. Okay, let me grab. Of course, I have a, you know, what's that mean? 25,600 scissors, and I can never find one. There actually are more in here. I saw them. So let's move. Look, this is I have 2 Peru here that are pretty bad as well, which I think I'm just going to pot up together. My hope was to get the Peru to climb up that beautiful piece of wood I have. So I think I might still try that. I wasn't having much luck, but I think I'll still try it. So I will zoom down here, guys, but I'm going to just cut off all of these dead leaves on my poor dragon scale. I can't believe I neglected it. It was so beautiful, and I paid a lot of money for this. I know they're dirty cheap now. Okay, let's put that back in. So I have it in pon in one of my self-watering pots, and it did love it until I neglected it. Beyond, hopefully not beyond redemption, but I certainly have not been doing. Oh, look at these leaves, they're all dead. This was so gorgeous. Oh, I don't know what it was. I just got into a bit of a funk, and I knew I needed to come out here, but I was just ignoring it. Actually, I leave that one because that's the one that I just planted. And look at the price I paid. So if I can find a clip of what this looked like, I'll show you, but look at it now. It's pretty sad. But you know what? It's not dead, and it will come back. It's just going to need a lot of TLC. So if you don't know, my husband and my son built this gorgeous greenhouse for me a couple of years ago. So a very serious incident happened in my life in 2018, which I don't talk about because there are legal issues involved, and I have to go to court, and it really was a very traumatic experience for me, and I couldn't sleep. I became very introverted, and you know, life was very difficult for me. I'm still struggling, but one of the ways my family decided to help me was my husband and my son built this for me, because I tended to be up late at night, and it was just lovely to potter around in here, and I did take much better care of it back then, and I will certainly, like, I'm going to step up my care again. This was just a particularly difficult summer with the 2 babies, with COVID, and you know, I had a few humps along the mental health byway, as I think a lot of us have, and sometimes there are triggers for me, and I just had, you know, I had a couple of bumps during the summer, so I'm hopefully going to get back on track now for the fall and the winter. So that's the story behind the greenhouse. They built it for me. It's just stunning. It's so beautiful. Very, very warm. So I actually have 2 extractor fans going, and I have a window. So initially we thought just putting a window in would be enough, but no, it certainly wasn't. So I have 2 extractor fans in here, and then in the winter I seal up all the windows and I have a heater in here. So it is an all-season greenhouse. Okay, so before we hit the Peru, let's take a look. This is a Begonia Sophia, and she is looking pretty sad. So I think I'm just going to give her a little trim and take a few cuttings maybe and put them back. Actually, this, she could probably be up potted at this stage, because she, well, maybe not. What I might do is I might just take cuttings, put them back in here, and then later on in the season I will up potter. So these are very long and gangly, and they're not looking very attractive, so why don't I take cuttings? This is the beauty about begonias, guys. You can just take a cutting and stick them back in the pot. They are so forgiving. So I'm just going to take this cutting, and literally I'm just going to stick it in here. Oh, she is quite root bound actually, but anyway, just for the moment, let's just, I have enough on my plate today without going and finding a pot to repot her. And let's do another cutting here, and same deal, just do a little digging. Yeah, she definitely will need to be repotted because there's not an awful lot of room. But look at how forgiving this is. I've done this before. Not the first time I neglected this girl. And let's just, oh, I broke her. Okay. The beauty about begonia, they will root so easily. You can root begonia from a leaf. They are a great beginner plant for sure, but they also are stunning. So if you follow Amy from Wolfgang's Mama, her video yesterday was about all of her begonias. I am so envious. I actually wrote to her and asked her if the girl that gave her the plants sells some, because I would love to get my hands on some of the begonias that Amy has. They are absolutely stunning. I do have I guess the best one I have is the what is it, Amphiopsis, I'm not sure. That's probably the rarest one I have, and the rest are pretty easy to get your hands on. So actually, there we go. So the Begonia Sophia, so she's sorted. Oh, look at this. Look at this poor baby. So this has been, I love this plant. What is it again? Birkin. It's the philodendron Birkin, and I do love it, and I actually have 2 of them. I did have more, I gave some away, but I'm thinking I might give this one away because she's looking pretty pathetic, isn't she? But before I do that, let me maybe chop her up, and then I could maybe root it and give a few pieces away to some of my local friends. So if I have something that I'm not loving, I usually give it away to people in my plant group, which is a local plant group through Facebook. So I think this might be one that I will give away. I'm going to take a cutting of it here, so then I can at least make it look somewhat decent. I'm not actually sure that that's even possible, but I think because I have so many of these, I think I will give this one away. I'll give away both pieces. I'll give away the bottom and the top, but at least if I can try and get her looking somewhat decent. She really needs to be straightened up there, doesn't she? I mean, I could take a cutting and start from scratch. Maybe I'll do that. You know what? I'll just take a cutting here. This scissors is way too small. So I think what I'll do is I'll pot up both of them. And then this will probably throw out more growth. And then I will have 3 plants to give to somebody who will probably enjoy it. There's nothing nicer than free plants, especially if you don't have that plant right. So, yeah, so I think that's what I'll do with them. But they're looking pretty shady. Not shady, but you know what I mean. It's looking pretty sad. But anyway, and I've cut it up and I will just give them away. Okay, so that is the Birkin. I will be bringing in plants from outside, so it's good to make some room. I'll keep some of them here and some down in my basement. Now, I have lots of like half-empty pots here, and I know this is disgraceful, but I'm actually just going to throw them away because I have so much crap. Now here, Paula is going to kill me. She gave me these Syngonium, and they have, I can't believe actually there's still some life left in them. I don't even know which ones they are. She has told me, but of course I can't remember. So I'm actually just going to cut that there because I think there's... So let's just chop this little baby up. And there's 2 different Syngonium in here. So I can't actually believe that they have withstood the test of time with all the neglect they're after getting. This here, so Tatum gave me this one. I can't remember what this one's called. This one got mealybugs, and I got rid of the mealybugs. And then I neglected it. I'll find the name for you. It's like, it's not an uncommon one. Like, it's not that common either, but it's, you know, you will all know it. When I find the name, I'll put it on the screen. I just can't think of it right now. So while I'm here, these were Hoya that actually died last year because the heater broke in my greenhouse, and I just never got around to tidying it up and getting rid of them. So I'll keep those pots there. And then these were all Proplycorums, yeah, dragon scale, that never came to fruition because they just got neglected. So let's get rid of these as well. Let's get rid of all this garbage. And I'll put all these empty pots down in my basement, which is also another... I have one room down there that I really need to tackle. And okay, so they can all go. This will be so nice. This here was... I've had this for years and it gets neglected. It's a Peperomia prostrata, and I literally have it years, which tells you how much it's neglected, because look at how small it is. It should be way bigger. But anyway, it gets a lick and a promise. Every now and then it gets a little bit of watering. This here is... What is this one called again? A cucumber cactus or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. But you can see she's pretty crazy, but we'll keep her for posterity because she's one of my oldies. Over on this wall I'll show it you. It's starting to climb, so I don't want to disturb it, and it is a Mycans, and it was doing beautifully. It was like it was attaching to the wall, but it has been neglected, so I'm just picking off the dead leaves. You won't probably be able to see what I'm doing there, but I will show that to you later. This is another plant I'm going to give away. Oh shoot, it's like too full of water, so full of water. It's a Burl Marks, just a regular Burl Marks, and there were cuttings I took of it, and I'm just going to give that to somebody in my plant group. I have another Burl Marks there, which surprisingly is doing okay. I can't believe. Some of them are definitely hardier than others. This is my Christmas cactus. This is a true Christmas cactus, and it did get thrips, and it has never flowered for me. So I'm hoping that it might flower for me this year. I just gave it a good watering because it was very parched. Okay, so let's see what else we can do. Let's get rid of this. And we'll bring over some of the other plants that are going to need desperately to be rehanged. So this here is my Mosaica, which I actually cut right back last year because I put it outside in the summer and it got very waterlogged. So I cut it right back, and these are all new leaves which have now been neglected again. So I'm just going to cut off the dead leaves, and hopefully she will recover. There's a lot of dead leaves over here. I mean, this plant needs water, and like they've gone, some of it, they've probably gone up to 2 or 3 weeks with no water, and it is hot out here. Like, I do come out every now and then. It's not like I haven't been out in months, but I haven't come out and given proper care in it all summer. So let's just take off all the dead bits, clean her up, and hopefully she will bounce back. She was beautiful, and then of course I didn't give her enough time to recover without neglecting her again, but she will be fine. She's alive, and I am absolutely sweating in here. It is so hot now, guys. Oh, guys. Okay, my poor Adansonii. This was doing beautifully, so I'm going to get some green tape and I'm going to tape her up. Luckily, I got to her in time, I think. She's not too bad, but there are, you can see a lot of dead leaves here, which I am going to cut off. I love this Adansonii. I've had her for a couple of years, and she was hanging, had her on a moss pole. She's had some rough times, you know, she struggled along the way, but she was actually doing great, until I decided to neglect her again. So have I got my green tape here? I bought green tape that I saw, you know, Bill from, what's the name of his, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of Bill's channel, and I saw he had a great dispenser or a cutter for his green tape, which I bought, and I used it once, and now I cannot find it. It's missing in action like everything else in my house. I buy stuff and then I can never find it because I'm actually very disorganized. I have a very disorganized mind, which my kids laugh because, like, I literally lose my phone like 10 times a day. People give out to me because they text me, I don't text them back. And usually it's because I can't find my phone, or if I do know where my phone is, I'm not on it because I couldn't be bothered. So I am, yes, I could do with some help with my organizational skills, that's for sure. Okay, so I will get some more green tape and tape this up here, but she's not looking too bad now. That's pretty good. She could probably do with some more water. She's kind of damp though. Definitely do with some more green tape. She has recovered. She's looking a bit better than she was. I'll just put her over here for the moment. Look at this. I'll just take cuttings of it and get her looking a bit better. So this is the Begonia maculata, which we all went crazy about, remember? And then they became available in Lowe's, and I think most of us have been able to get our hands on this one now. And like, this is a begonia. Begonias need water. They don't like to be neglected, and this was very neglected, as you can see. So I'm just, oh look, this was probably the original. It's in a plug, but I will vacuum and wash the floors in here. It's kind of, it is nice that I can mess this place up because it's not part of my house, so that's kind of nice. This was built onto the side of my house, so this is actually part of my side passageway. So it's like, it's good that I can be messy out here and it's not going to be dragged through the house. So let's have a look what's going on here. Look, she's like so sad looking. So let's cut her here. And if I just keep watering her now, she will actually come back. I say begonias are pretty amazing. They root so easily. And I think I should put this here so that I don't know if this will put out a leaf, but let's, I know, you know what, just let's get rid of it. There's enough in here. What's going on there? Okay, it's green under there, so I'm just going to leave that. And this will come back. The beauty of begonia. Actually, sometimes I wonder why some begonia are so expensive, because they're the easiest plant in the world to propagate. You can propagate from a leaf, you can propagate from a stem. Like, they're amazing. They are just the easiest plants to propagate. But it is hard to get your hands on the beautiful ones, which is kind of my goal now. I think I'm going to, I'd love, like Amy has a terrarium with all her begonia in it, and I would love that. I actually watched a video late last night, and I was actually looking at those Exo Terra terrariums. I'd love to have a begonia terrarium. I think they are gorgeous. I mean, I do have some begonia, but they're common. They're not unusual begonias. The ones that Amy had, oh my God, they're stunning. I was so in love with them. Okay, so we're slowly but surely getting through this. It's not as, well, it is bad, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. So why don't we leave these all over here? Here we have, so this is supposed to be a variegated subfustatum, or subhostatum. The reason I say subfustatum, in the Gaelic language, BH has a V sound. So when I read it with my Gaelic language, if you can understand. I'm not fluent at Irish, but I absolutely love our language. And, you know, I do try to, if I can, if I've, you know, try to speak a little bit of it to my kids and stuff. And not that they understand me. My son-in-law is good at Irish, but so that's why I always say subfustatum, because the BH in my language is a V sound. But I think Canadians and everyone else in the world probably calls it subhostatum. But I like calling it subfustatum because it's, you know, it's cultural for me. So, anyway, it's supposed to be variegated, and I don't think it is. I think I may have been duped on this one. I do have cuttings of her. I shouldn't be doing this, I know. I do have other cuttings downstairs in my basement, and I'm waiting to see if I'll get any variegation out of it. So it's just a waiting game. So there's not much I can do here. You can see this, I did take a cutting, and this was a new growth point, which I just went fiddling with the leaf, and I've probably wrecked the leaf now. But anyway, we shall just leave her here and see what happens. Now I'm looking over there, and the others actually, believe it or not, I do look okay. It's actually not looking that bad. Now I think we'll take a look at my Booby cactus propagations, and I might just get a pot, and like I think I do have a little long pot, and I might just put a few of them in it, because I'm really proud of my little propagations. Let's cut them up anyway, and we'll decide what we're going to do with them later. So I'll go grab them. Okay, so my Booby cactus. So this was the middle cutting, and you can see she's put out a new baby. This was the bottom cutting. This was the top cutting. And then if you followed me and you watched the videos I did on these, I will put a link in the description. These two were ones that I laid horizontally on top of the soil, and they withered up completely. So I decided to stick them back in vertically, and you can, if you can see there, they're actually pumping back up, and they're putting out 2 new babies. So I'm not going to do anything with these guys. I'm just going to leave them for now and let them do their thing. But I am thinking, what do you think? Will I cut these 2? And then maybe I'll get more babies out of them. I think I will. So I'm going to take a cutting. I should actually clean these, shouldn't I? I know everybody says clean. I just spray them with alcohol. I'm not very good at doing that, guys. But I will for this. So let's clean it. Have I got anything close at hand? Yeah. to wipe it off. Okay, so let's take a cutting here. Prickly little bit. Okay, ow, that was sore. And let's cut this one here. Now, I will be curious to see, will these two put out new growth? I think they will, because they're very healthy. They're nice and firm. Although this one looks like it might be rotting a bit, because, is it? I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll wait and see if these will put out more boobies for me. And then this is the top cutting, which she's a little bit crooked. I think I'm just going to leave her in this pot. I love this cute little pot. And these two, I'm going to just let them callus over for maybe a day, and then I will pot them up. I do have a nice little long pot downstairs, so I'd like to kind of have a few of them in a row. I also, guys, I'm going to show you my Euphorbia Mac is just stunning. She has grown huge. I have her outside in the back garden, and I'm thinking I might actually cut her. There's 3 of them, and I might cut them, and because the base is thinner than the top, and I would love her just to get bigger and bigger, so I think I may cut her. I will do a video on that, and then the base will put out 3 new babies, because I'll be bringing her in and putting her in my kitchen for the winter. So stay tuned for that one. Okay, so there are my booby cactus, and now it's cleaning time, guys. I'm dreading this. This is going to be a big job. Guys, I cannot believe how fantastic this looks. I will do a pan of the whole thing in a few moments, but I bought this fertilizer, I guess over a year ago. It's 444, so I thought I would go around and just put, I'm just going to use a spoon and put a spoon in each one. So I thought maybe you could come along with me while I do that. Yeah, just sit down and I'm doing this. So it's just a powder. Looks like, I don't know if it is, it's green tea. It says green organics. So I'm just going to put a spoonful into each pot. Well, not quite a spoonful. Some of them, I put more in others. And then I'm going to water it in. Now I do water these, tend to water these with my nutrient water, because some of them are in pond and I just do it for all of them. It doesn't do them any harm. Okay, let's go a little bit lower here. That is my Cebu blue, and it is actually doing well. I don't know if you can see it's finally, I think it's starting to attach to the piece of wood. Okay, so I did water these last night. Some I watered. Some are not watered as well as others, so I am going to go back over some of them. So this room will fill up over the winter, because a lot of the plants I have outside I will be bringing in. And I do sit in here more in the winter because the heat is not so bad. The heat in here in the summer can be like, oh gosh, it's gotten to over 40 and it's unbearable. Now at the moment I have the 2 fans going. I also have a humidifier that I bought that has a fan on it, and I have the door open, so it's tolerable, but it can be very, very warm. So I'm just going to quickly run around and water these, and then I'm going to give you a tour.